from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. It's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Drew Brees and the Cincinnati Bengals taking on Lamar Jackson and the Chicago Bears.
It's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news. At Paul Brown Stadium, that's where we're at here in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the first pick of the second round back in 2001. And that's the veteran Drew Brees.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win. And that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
A gain of 2.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into him.
And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So now here are the Bears with excellent field position to start off. They'll be led out by the final pick of the first round in 2018 out of Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
A quick throw out wide to Fuller. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Ball carrier.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Jackson from the shotgun. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And the Bears are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
They'll run with Mostert. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Raheem Mostert with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. And nothing special there. They showed they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will make it into the end zone. And no return from Bowden. This will come out to the 25. At their own. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They fake the give. Here's Breeze. Trying to lay one up deep. He's got him in. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for Antonio Gandy Golden that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
After the sack on first down, Jackson. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Fuller. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
And let's face it, what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
On 2nd down, Mostert takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Ball carrier.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
6-0 our score after 1.
With the score, Bears 6. Bengals nothing.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. It's worth noting when you talk about Jackson's running ability, the Baltimore wide receivers had just over 1,400 receiving yards combined last year. And, Charles, that was the fewest yards by a wide receiver group in the NFL since 2011.
And, partner, I expect that number to go up this year. Last season, Lamar Jackson got very comfortable with his tight end group. In fact, he had one tight end that went to the Pro Bowl. But I think now, because of his ability to run the ball, it'll bring defenders closer to the line of scrimmage, and you'll see more big plays from the wide receivers downfield.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to the running game with Mostert. And down inside the 15 he goes. A gain of 13. It's a first down. I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't he? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him because he creates big plays. But if you're a runner and you're playing with Lamar Jackson, aren't you happy? He creates so much concentration on him, it should open up things for you.
And he'll be out of bounds. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
Chicago.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Here's Mostert. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Raheem Mostert with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Bears will extend their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead now stands at 13.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And no return from Bowden. This will come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Play action. Breeze. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Gurley. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a third and about 14.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Bears take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. That'll be complete to Cook. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Here's Mostert. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. Javon Hargrave there on the stop.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They go play action with Jackson. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. He's trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and it's 3rd and 5.
It's 3rd down and 5 yards to go.
Throwing is Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Mostert. And the Bears are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Now it's Jackson looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but now it's 3rd and goal.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. 3rd and goal. Here's Jackson. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Bears push further out in front. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this carries into the end zone. And no return from Bowden. This will come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere,
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
An 11-yard loss on the play.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They run. It's Gurley. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards, the final tally.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now it's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. To throw is Jackson. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Raheem Mostert on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bears will add on to their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more.
His kick
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And no return from Bowden. This will come out to the 25.
25-yard line.
And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And he'll find Everett there, complete. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Shotgun now for Breeze. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. And that will be incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
A carry there for Mostert as he's able to work his way forward for a pretty good pickup on first down. Officially a gain of 5.
Down at the 26. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
So we've come to halftime after a very... You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Nothing.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
At their own 31-yard line.
So here are the Bears to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
13. Rush in.
And we've got movement. I think this is against the Bears here. Let's find out.
Offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
This is Mostert. He finds an opening past the 40. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Chicago.
Touchdown.
Raheem Mostert, 74 yards. And the Bears continue to pour it on. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ball game. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
The kick
And his kick is good. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And no return from Bowden. This will come out to the 25. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Well, look at this, a tight end carry. And he stopped immediately there.
The tight end. The ball
no gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Right at the line of scrimmage.
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
At the 25-yard line.
Throwing now is Breeze. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Breeze. Open man is Gordon, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Breeze going to throw. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Breeze now to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Antonio Gandy Golden that time. And now it's 2nd down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Breeze will try again on 2nd down. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
So the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal.
Come on, bring it, baby,
it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
All day, baby, all day. Hey, Mike 52. Mike 50. Hey, report. Report.
Jackson. That's caught by Waller out left side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
Here we go, D.
Here's Jackson to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 1st downs. They're taking it to him, and it's paying off.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. His throw caught at about the 5.
Jackson's pass complete.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bears add on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
This taken in about 4 yards deep. And no return from Bowden. This will come out to the 25.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? They give it off here to the tight end, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Single, 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 single.
They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A third down now, and those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Gurley, the ball carrier. Jerry Tillery on the stop.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Breeze now on first down. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Michael Thomas, his 9th touchdown of the season. And it's for pride now, but the Bengals get a bit closer. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them to the end of the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Chicago offense set to get started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Check 9, check 9. Check 52. Hey, middle.
Now Mostert. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Switch it. Come on, switch. Yeah.
Running the counter with Mostert. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown.
Number 14.
DK Metcalf there to make the grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Bengals 7. Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this carries into the end zone. And no return from Bowden. This will come out to the 25.
Their own 25-yard.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Breeze now on 1st down. Got Gordon open, completes it. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
On the pickup, it's 2nd and inches at the 35-yard line.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Able to get this to Gordon.
Josh.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Throw to the right here to Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a Bengal 1st down, a pickup of 11. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
Yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Makes the score.
Extra point up and good by Crosby as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Taking it about the 1. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start first and 10. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
Space to maneuver at the 40. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, partner, when a team's up this big, this late in the game, I always wonder what's their motivation, because if it's me, I'm thinking about pulling on the reins a little bit, but for them, I don't think it's in their DNA. It's not in their head coach's makeup at all. I think his opinion is, you stop us. We're not supposed to pull back ourselves.
Bloods to try to add the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And no return from Bowden. This will come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Chicago, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.